Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram, he's at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we're talking Real Housewives of Atlanta, and there's a lot of reaction, of course, to the Real Housewives of Atlanta trailer. I did a video on that the other day. I want to talk about a meme or a tweet that was posted that the Bravo Shade Room got a hold of, and I felt it was really poignant to discuss with y'all because it says the following. It says, inviting Ralph to that reunion is ABUSIVE. And that is the SHIT they keep talking about in a hostile work environment. That is all. And so I find this interesting because this has been one of the things when I used to discuss the show Love and Marriage Huntsville, and we talked about the breakdown of Mel and Martel's marriage, right? And how Martel allegedly was trying to distribute Revenge P, right? And several people had confirmed it. Tisha confirmed it on Carlos King's podcast and everything else. And it was all of these things that he was trying to do. And Melody Cherie Rogers had said on the live Reality with the King podcast last January in 2024, I would like Martel to be fired. This is not a healthy working environment, everything else. And everybody was applauding, right? And then she broke down because she said she didn't feel protected as a black woman. All this was at this podcast, right? Nothing happened to Martel. In fact, more toxic behavior had happened. So we fast forward over to Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I don't recall on the Housewife shows, if you've gotten a divorce or are going through a divorce or whatever else, that you don't need your husband anywhere near on these shows anymore. And from the off the rip, I don't remember this taking place with any of the White Housewife shows. Please let me know in the comments if I have that correctly. I also don't recall this taking place on Real Housewives of Potomac. So I'm saying all this to say, why are we doing this to another show on Bravo? And by another show on Bravo, I mean we did the same thing by bringing Sweet Tea and Greg back on Married to Medicine. Now you can make the argument, since he was married to somebody else now, that but it ended up not working out after a couple of seasons, right? Because basically, allegedly, Quad pulled the it's her or me type of thing. So it was never going to work out long term. And what happened on Real Housewives of OC wasn't somebody that Shannon Beador was married to, because her ex-husband, once they got a divorce, that was it. But it was her ex-boyfriend that was now dating another housewife, was dating one of her co-stars, Alexis, and was suing her for all this money and everything else. But nonetheless, I don't recall him being a part of the reunion or anything like that. Like, I don't recall any of that. So I say all that to say, not only do you have Ralph at this reunion, you have Ralph, he's not even on the side that Drew Sidora is sitting on. Mind you, Drew Sidora is sitting on the tail end. Usually the tail end is very bad. It could be detrimental to what you're, whether or not you come back or whatever else. However, there's been times Candy was on the end and it didn't impact her. But nonetheless, everybody's on Portia's couch. Dennis is behind Portia. And we have as well Ralph sitting next to Dennis. And he's in between like Cynthia and Phaedra. And it's just wild, man. And Charles Oakley is the only other husband that is there. Or the only husband that's there, excuse me. Because Ralph, like I said, him and Drew are going through a divorce, and Portia and Dennis are not married. They were engaged previously, but then, of course, broke up once Dennis allegedly cheated on Portia, right? So I say all this to say, I feel like these reality shows now, and I don't know if they're doing this now because of the Married to Medicine reunion, but I think this is a mistake. I think this is a mistake. If you're not with the person anymore and you're going through a tumultuous divorce proceedings where your soon-to-be ex-husband is all over social media trying to show pictures of you with another woman, trying to, play games about your sexuality, trying to release text messages and doing all of this messy stuff, it's not... If you're trying to break free of that and divorce and focus on being a single mom and focusing on your music career and other things, why do you need to be a part of the reunion? And the reason that I call Ralph Martell's mentee, because I feel like this is everything Martell enjoyed doing. He wanted to still be in Melody Cherie Rogers' presence, even though they were divorced. And because he was not happy that she would not stay married to him and accept his cheating, he decided in his mind, I'll just destroy her instead. I will destroy her instead. I will feed stuff to the cast, make false allegations and everything else. And I feel like Ralph is on the same thing. And he did it one better because he still is at the same house as Drew Sidora, living in the basement, and has his own bachelor pad set up. And that's really what Martell wanted. He wanted, divorce or not, to still be in the same household as Mel when it was all said and done. Like, this is crazy. I don't like any of this. I don't like it at all. It's different when, like I said, you'll have some of these housewives, especially on like New York and OC and everything else, where there'll be these men who are desperate for fame that'll date multiple housewives. And they'll end up on the show, they'll end up getting camera time. But that is different than you having an actual ex or a soon-to-be ex or whatever that was actually your husband, that was a significant, feature of the show, actually be a part of the reunion. Make it make sense. So I find this, when people are agreeing with this, inviting Ralph to the reunion is ABUSIVE, and that is a hostile work environment. But I find the hypocrisy in this when it was pointed out that this is the same thing that happened with Mel, that people said that Mel was overreacting. That Mel was overreacting and she needed to suck it up and deal with whatever it was going to be dealt with because it was reality TV, and she just needed to deal with whatever. No. And this is the danger that reality TV is going to put themselves in. We're not trying to emulate all of these reality shows that's taking place on the Zeus network. We're not trying to make Real Housewives into baddies. If you're going through a tumultuous divorce battle, the last thing you want to do if you're on a housewife show and you're no longer going to be a legal housewife to somebody, why do you need to be sitting across from your soon-to-be ex-husband battling it out? and there's already issues where you want stuff sealed about the divorce. The husband doesn't want stuff sealed because he wants everything out there. You have somebody who you were locked out of the house one of the times because y'all are living in the same house. Y'all have to communicate via an app because y'all can't get along. Y'all can't have effective communication together. Like, it's a laundry list of problems, and then y'all go back and forth on social media. It's too much. But it's weird that Real Housewives of Atlanta would go this route. And it's giving either you guys are so desperate for content for the reunion, or y'all just don't really give a crap about Drew Sidora, which is why I don't know why y'all want Drew Sidora to come back to the show. Because for all intents and purposes, they might as well just give Ralph a contract. And then, what is the nature of his relationship with Phaedra? Because it's giving Destiny and Martell. It's giving her and Ralph go way back. But, like, do y'all see what I'm talking about? Like, this infiltration of this toxicity. But I feel like it's primarily directed at the black shows. Because I feel like these white shows are not going to allow this type of foolery to take place. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not about to allow all this type of chaos, right? I feel like an exception of that is like something like Summer House, where like they kind of, multiple cast members have dated each other. And I think what either ends up happening is one person ends up either leaving the show or they're able to work together as friends. But again, you're not married. There's no kids involved. You're able to understand the mechanics of the show. I feel like when we're talking about marriage and going through a divorce and you got kids, I feel like that's a whole nother ballgame. And that is why I gave the example of, Married to Medicine, Love and Marriage Huntsville, and now Real Housewives of Atlanta, incorporating now the ex-husbands or soon-to-be ex-husbands into the reunion, I think is a huge mistake, you guys. I don't like it. I don't like the message that it sends, because it's basically sending the message that Drew Sidora is not interesting on her own, and that she still needs Ralph to, facilitate any type of drama or whatever else to help her potentially keep her peach. And that is weird, right? And then I feel also, because her and Ralph are not on good terms, he's able to team up with Phaedra or Dennis or whomever and push whatever narrative he wants out there, whether it's true or not, because he's got witnesses. He's got witnesses on his side that basically can push whatever narrative he wants to make it look like what he's saying is true. And this is what Martell did on Love and Marriage Huntsville, and turning the cast against Mel, knowing that he was doing nefarious things, but because they didn't like her as well, they fed into it or didn't say anything. But people were like, oh, she should just deal with it. She should just deal with it. But in real life, you would not deal with this. You would not put up with a situation like that. Would you continue to go to work and you happen to be in a situation where you work with your ex-husband and it turns completely toxic and it's gaslighting and it is trying to turn all of your coworkers against you and it's trying to put out disgusting things about you to destroy your reputation and put out lies about you and everything else? So I feel like Real Housewives of Atlanta is not learning from what has just happened with the Britt Eady and Kenya Moore situation. Because if you're going to enable this for the reunion, who knows what you're going to enable heading into next season? So there's that, and that is it, and that is all for this video. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.